Hello everybody, this is SeetherCord here, and welcome to the next installment of my SeetherTalks series here on YouTube. This is episode 75, we're 3/4 of the way to 100 episodes. It's super awesome. I want to let you guys know that I'm not going to be reading from a script this time around. I was going to try to write out a script for this episode of SeetherTalks for today, but I couldn't really get a full good image in my head for a script, so instead I'm just going off of like little post-it notes I've written down and kind of like just improvising them as best I can. I'm not going to do this as a trend for my channel in the future, it's just for this one video because I really couldn't put it into a script for this video. Anyways, let's begin. Today's episode of SeetherTalks is going to be talking about body positivity within the furry fandom. I say this because body positivity has been a big thing within the furry fandom for the past year. And if you didn't know what body positivity is, it's basically the concept of being more kind and accepting to the fact that some people are fat. And before I discuss my full-on opinions about the whole body positivity concept within the furry fandom, I want to disclose that I'm fully for not judging a person's character or self-worth based off of their weight. You should always be kind to someone no matter what size that they are, and you should never judge someone off of their physical appearance. You should instead judge them by the character that they represent and the choices they made throughout their lives. Let's first start off with me clearing up some misconceptions that I believe exist within the furry fandom when it comes to body positivity and body image. And there are a few that I want to cover today. The first one is it's that body positivity is usually always seen as a thing that affects women, or females pretty much, when in reality, it's not just females. There are a lot of men who also go through struggles with accepting their weight or their body. The second misconception about this is that it's always believed to be it's a lot of men and women who are insecure about being a little too overweight. It could be the other way around. There are a lot of people that feel insecure about being too underweight or being too thin to where they don't feel like they're physically attractive enough because they're too thin or they're not curvy or bulky enough. And it could not even just be for that reason. There could be people who are either more on the heavy side or more on the thin side that are feeling that they're not muscular enough. Like they feel like they don't work out enough to where they don't look toned enough to where they don't look like they're powerful enough. And heck, people can feel insecure about their bodies for something besides weight. It could be for anything, really. It could be for the fact that some people are losing hair. It could be for some people being too tall or too short. It could be over their ears being too big or too small. Whatever. And those are pretty much the few things that I feel like most people misunderstand about body positivity, and those being the gender difference with it, and also it not just being about people who feel like they're too overweight. There are people who feel that they're underweight, and there are people who feel that they aren't physically as capable enough for not being muscular enough. Now, when it comes to my opinion about the whole body positivity movement, especially when it gets involved with the furry fandom, I will say that for the most part, I think that it's a good thing. I think that it's great that a lot of people are becoming more happy with themselves and their physical appearances, and they shouldn't have to feel pressured by a bunch of people within like magazines or like other people on social media saying negative things about them. And let me state this before I forget. If there is ever someone in your life that tells you that you are too fat or you're too skinny or you're not muscular enough to where it makes you look ugly or that you're not attractive enough or you're not accepted or loved because of those aspects about your physical appearance, fuck those people. You don't need them. Don't listen to them. Again, your level of self-worth should not be indicated by your physical appearance. Now, for the most part, I have been talking mostly positive about the body positivity movement here in the furry fandom, but however, I do have one criticism about it, which I feel like is a major one. I believe that body positivity can, to some extent, encourage very unhealthy lifestyles and eating habits. The reason that I say this is because I have witnessed a lot of people who have encouraged people and be like, oh, don't worry about being fat. You can be as big as you want. You can just like eat yourself into a diabetic coma, or you can eat yourself into 400, 500 pounds and then have a lot of serious medical issues later on. Fuck the haters. And it can be the same way around, like, oh, you're too thin. Don't worry about eating too much. You can just like still eat less and less until the point where your heart gives out on you and you die. I've kind of wanted to make this video as of recently because of the fact that this kind of relates to something that happened to me about a month ago, and I will share it with you guys right now what happened. There was a person who I graduated with from high school back 2 years ago, and I haven't heard from him until just last month. This guy was pretty fun to be around. I wasn't really that close with him, but I did talk to him sometimes at school, and this guy was well over 350 pounds when he graduated from high school with me. And it got to the point where after he graduated, he jumped to over 400. And I just heard the news just last month that this guy died of diabetes complications due to his weight. And when I heard about that, I was just like, damn, man, that's just horrible. So yeah, just the one aspect of the body positivity movement that I don't like is that it's just encouraging people to continue unhealthy eating habits. Again, all of this can be linked back to people who are obese being encouraged to continue overeating until the point where they die from it. It can also be people who are too thin who are encouraged to eat less and less even more until the point where their heart gives out on them. And it also affects people who feel insecure about not being muscular enough to where they start working out too much, and then they also start taking steroids until it kills them. I'm now going to tell you guys a little bit about what it was like for me when it comes to my own appearance and my thoughts on my own body image. Throughout my entire life, I've been a very tall person at 6'1", and my weight has always, throughout my childhood, gone from being very thin to average, and it's kind of like teetered back and forth between those two. If I had to be fully honest, I never really was insecure about being really skinny growing up. I was more insecure about the fact that I was so freakishly tall, and I had an extremely huge Jew nose, and I had too many freckles on my face. The reason why I felt so insecure about being so tall and thin growing up was because of the fact that a lot of kids took advantage of that about me. Also throughout school, I was never really the fighting type. I was never the person who had the kind of demeanor to where I was like, oh, I'm gonna fight you. I never was like that, and I never could throw a punch either. And I was like that so much to the point where any guy at school would take advantage of that fact about me. It wouldn't matter if it was the muscular guys or the fat guys or the short guys or heck, even some of the girls. And all of them would be like, oh, Seether, I can beat the crap out of you if I wanted to because you got no muscles and you're never going to be able to take a punch on anyone. And I won't deny that I felt really bad over that. I felt very taken advantage of over that. I felt like I couldn't stand up for myself physically or be able to defend myself. And throughout my later years of high school, I extensively tried to start working out and bulking up and trying to lift weights and build muscle. And I failed, I remember that my arms were still freaking noodles. And it sucked. And I remember I would go to school and I would try to flex for the guys that were making fun of me, and then they would grab my muscles, my very small little non-existent muscles, and start squeezing them. And it was cringe. I know it's cringe, but come on. Overall, if you want to change your body type or make an alteration to your weight, make sure that you're not doing it for the reason of acceptance of others, and remember to always make sure to keep yourself healthy in the process. If you want to lose weight, don't freaking not eat anything and lose extreme amounts of weight really fast because that'll really hurt you in the end. And if you want to gain weight, don't just eat a bunch of donuts and drink a lot of soda out of nowhere and risk yourself getting diabetes and having your freaking teeth fall out. And also, if you want to try to get muscular, please don't ever take steroids. Please don't. And I know it sometimes might get frustrating and be like, oh, Seether, it's so hard. I can't gain weight. I can't lose weight. I can't build muscle. You can do it, okay? Don't give up. I know I failed, but that's just because I gave up in the beginning. All right. If you want to really make a change to your body, it's not going to happen at first, but then it'll eventually come. You just got to stay consistent with it and not give up on it, and you'll see results. I can promise you that. And that pretty much wraps up my video about body positivity in the furry fandom. How do you guys feel about the whole layout / structure of this video? I don't know how to feel about it exactly. I really couldn't put this video into a script, so I'm kind of just reading bullet points. I don't feel like it came out that well, but do you guys feel like it came out that well yourselves? Let me know down in the comment section down below. If you enjoy my content and want to further help out my channel, please consider donating to my Patreon page and my Ko-fi, hitting that like button, turning on the notification bell, and subscribing all together. I have been SeetherCord, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everyone. And now we have the postman's hat. Awesome. This dignified hat allows you to check the mail. Use C-Stick to put it on. It might just suit you. Awesome. We saved him. Yay. And there he goes. He's free. And he clipped through the guy. Whatever. Anyway. Teehee. They're lovers, but they look just like a mother and child. So weird. Tail, you're weird.